Hey guys, happy Saturday. So today I'm going to talk a little bit about nutrition and food. And this is a topic that I've actually found myself talking about a lot this week. I brought on a couple new nutrition coaching clients who are doing diet reconstructions with me, and I'm really excited to start working with them and help them basically learn the ways to eat healthfully and in a realistic, maintainable way. One of the first things I get asked about with food is what are macros? And the reason for that is because I'm always coming from a standpoint of food for health, and there's so much more to it with your body than just calories in versus calories out. I am not so much concerned with calorie amounts as I am with what makes up those calorie amounts, and that's where we get into macronutrients. And basically the three main macronutrients are protein, fat, and carbs. So you've heard of those things, obviously. And just about every food that you can eat falls into one of those three categories. And basically, they have a certain caloric value. Fats have a higher caloric value, 9 calories per gram versus 4 for protein and carbs. And that's how we get to our calorie amount. It's how much of each macro do we eat equals how many calories that we will eat in a day. And depending on your genetics, your body, your goals, that's going to kind of dictate where you need to be as far as macronutrients. It's very, very individualized. I've talked about it before in other videos. Carbs for one person can mean major fat gain or very hard time losing fat if you're eating a lot of carbs, whereas another person really needs a lot of carbs and really does well on that. So it's a very individual thing. So I'm always starting from a standpoint of what's healthy for you and your body, how much should you really be eating, and then we kind of go, what are your goals? And then how can we gauge how much and how we want to tweak things from where you are right now. Let's face it, the calories in a Snickers bar, 50 calorie Snickers bar versus 50 calories of broccoli is not the same in your body. Your body doesn't break them down the same way. Your body doesn't use the energy in the same way. It doesn't have the same hormonal effect on your body. So it can't just be about calories. So that's where macronutrients come in. Carbs, fats, and protein. So a great way to start is by understanding what those things are and then understanding which foods fall into which category and how you can manipulate those in order to best utilize them, because all three macronutrients have very important function within the body. I had another question today about fruit. It was a client of mine, and she said, you don't really eat a lot of fruit, right? I personally don't. I decided to kind of limit myself. What works for me is 1 serving a day, and I usually stick to something that's either apple or citrus or berries. I like berries a lot. They're pretty low GI. And that's really for the sugar content. Now, when we're talking sugar, there's natural sugars and there are refined sugars. Natural sugars are found in fruit and in dairy. Refined sugar is everything else, and then there's artificial sugars, and stay as far away from artificial sugars as you possibly can. If it's artificial sugar, don't even put it in your body. Refined sugars are the white sugars, the things that you find in your baked goods and your cookies and all of your packaged foods that I've warned you guys to watch out for. So she asked me, should she be staying away from fruit? And what I said was this, it's different to a person, just like our carbohydrates. That fruit is going to be considered a carb because it is a sugar. And some people can handle more of it without storing a lot of body fat, and some people cannot. I'm never going to tell you to stay away from fruit because it is healthy and it is natural. What I like to see clients do is replace the refined sugars that they're eating with fruit to satisfy a sweet tooth, and then scale it. Fruits and veggies obviously should be the first thing that you're eating at the top of your list, making up your diet. But vegetables trump fruits, and they trump fruits by a lot. So you want to keep fruit in, but you want to be conscious of how much you're eating and how it plays in with your overall sugar intake, because if you're eating foods that are high in sugar and fruit on top of that, it's really going to push your daily sugar up, and we really want to stay, between 25 and 30 grams a day for women. And then the fats. Fats can be very confusing for people, and we've kind of been told for years and years to stay away from fats, and that has become confusing because fats get a bad rap, and then a lot of people are eating a very low-fat diet, when in fact, healthy fat sources are very necessary to maintain a healthy body. They're good for your joints. Your body burns them for energy. You definitely want to have a good amount of healthy fats in your diet, but it becomes confusing what is a fat, what isn't, what's good, what's bad. Trans fat is always bad. So if it's fast food or processed or artificial, stay away from it. Trans fat is bad. We also want to avoid vegetable fats. oil fats. You know, a lot of those types of things that you'll find in cooking oils and things like that, and fried food. Those kinds of fats are trans fats, and they're not great. Then you get to saturated fats, which do have some beneficial properties, and in some studies have been shown to actually help the body release fat. And there's certain kinds of saturated fats, like you find in a coconut oil, it's an MCT, is what it's called. So those, a little bit a day, can be great. It can kind of help your body release stored fat for energy and help you burn fat. But you still want to be very cognizant of how much. 1 tablespoon of coconut oil, I think, has 14 grams of saturated fat. I add just, like, honest to gosh, 1/4 of a teaspoon to my coffee every day. And I think, that's enough to kind of get the benefits from it without overdoing it. If you overeat fat, you're going to gain fat. If that's just the way it is. Even though it's good, too much is bad. And that kind of works for everything. And then from saturated fats, we move into our poly and our mono unsaturated fats, which are the fats that you want to have high in your diet. These are found in things like nuts and seeds and nut butters, avocado, salmon. These are really great sources of healthy fats in the diet. But again, they're very concentrated and they have higher caloric values. So the more of it you eat, the more calories you eat. And if you overdo it, yes, it's going to be detrimental to weight loss goals. That's why you got to know how much, and a little goes a long way. So not all fats are bad. Some fats are good, but too much fat is always bad. That's it for today. I hope I clarified some nutrition questions for you guys. If you have any others, shoot me a message on Facebook, email me. If you're interested in help and you want to kind of get on the right track and get your diet in order, contact me as well through my website. Take care. Have a great weekend.